Yesterday, there was an alleged robbery at a restaurant on the island. From the point, Alice Medina gives us more information.
Hello Lisa and all the TV viewers, I say hello from here from the pedestrian zone of our island, because the night immediately before one of the pizza shop with the hearing at the sector was thief. According to what information that have circulated in social media, the administrator of the place was attacked, and also the workers who was in the place in the night. They take out the production there from yesterday, but we come to see that when they happen, we come to start to the administrative people, but they are not here. According to official information, the administrator right now, they put the denounce into the police. That's why we don't have the official information yet. Inclusive the police not give no information yet about how this thief was going and what happened. Right now, the restaurant is shut, the pizza place is shut, so we are keep attentive to the development of this news to know that where they're going on, and we're going to carry it all to know. Lisa, this is all information we report from here, from the town of the island. Continue in studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And Teleislas News went to the Ciudad Paraiso neighborhood following information circulating on social networks where they reported an apparent exchange of gunfire at a teen party.
After a small altercation with an attendee, noting that the situation was under control and without any news, injuries, or shots, as it has been circulating on social networks. This is what Nestor Barrios shared with Teleislas News.
The people were excited and overheated by the drink. There was a small argument, but everything was normal. There were no shootings, no aggressions. There was no total disorder as they are describing on social media.
Videos from security cameras in the area show a large number of people who were in the neighborhood celebrating, and then suddenly everyone were scattered when an attendee suddenly got upset but was controlled by friends. Immediately the celebration was terminated and the organizers were in charge of cleaning the area and leaving it in order.
It was de-escalated. The sound system was already off. We were cleaning up and we helped to pick up the garbage, and it did not become a big thing. It seems to me that a party, any discussion can turn into something big, but here absolutely nothing like that happened.
As of the closing of this broadcast, the National Police have not reported the events of disturbance of public order that occurred the day before. On the other hand, Teleislas News learned that the departmental hospital did not receive any person injured with a knife or firearm yesterday.
And a judge sent to prison the man involved in Hettys murder.
The San Andres Sectional Prosecutor's Office achieved the capture and prosecution of the alleged person responsible for the death of Fabian Perez, better known as Hetty. To achieve the capture and the progress of this investigation, the authorities in charge emphasized that the strength of the material evidence and exhibits provided by the Sectional Prosecutor of San Andres were decisive for a judge responsible for procedural safeguards of the island to issue the arraignment of Joseph David Cardinal Jimenez, aka Cadenita, as the alleged responsible for the murder of singer Fabian Eugenio Perez Hooker, better known as Hetty.
Investigative work based on testimonial evidence, photographic recognitions, and technical inspections at the place of the events allowed the identification of the accused as the person who apparently fired the gun that caused Hetty's death. The person involved was captured by the Technical Investigation Corps CTI of the Prosecutor's Office this March 26 in the sector of Barrio Obrero of San Andres in compliance with a court order.
It is worth mentioning that Dixon Denzel Manuel Watson was also arrested for the same facts, who would be the person in charge of driving the motorcycle on which the crime was committed. In the hearings, the person involved did not accept the charges brought by the prosecutor for the crimes of aggravated homicide, aggravated attempted homicide, and aggravated manufacture, trafficking, and carrying of firearms, accessories, and parts of ammunition.
After the capture of the main culprit, the prosecution also recounted through an audio the events that took place on Sunday, March 13, related to Hettys murder.
The account of the facts investigated about the crime for which the archipelago mourned as a whole were issue of the Attorney General office. The audio informs the community how the murder took place.
At approximately 8 p.m. on March 13 of 2022, Mr. Hilbert Allen Pusey Rodriguez, alias Fitos Pusey, was talking with Fabian Perez Hooker, Raizal singer and ambassador of the native language of the Raizal community, known in the territory as Hettys, outside the residence of Mistress Minerva Hooker, aunt of singer Perez Hooker, located in the Mission Hill sector.
In the audio, it is reported that the two people were conversing when two subjects passed by on a motorcycle, warning of the presence of Hilbert Allen Pusey Rodriguez.
A motorcycle driven by Mr. Dixon Manuel Watson passes by in a south-north direction with Mr. Joshua Smith Vargas as the passenger. The latter, noticing the presence of Mr. Hilbert Allen Pusey Rodriguez, gave notice to Mr. Dixon Manuel Watson, and they continued their course towards the Orange Hill sector. And in about 3 minutes on the same motorcycle driven by Dixon Manuel Watson, they returned through Orange Hill, but the passenger was Mr. Joseph David Cadena Jimenez, who is known as Cadenita, and taking advantage of the defenseless state of Mr. Hilbert Allen Pusey Rodriguez, he shot several times against Mr. Hilbert Allen Pusey with a firearm that he was carrying without a competent permit.
This was the account of the facts of the investigation issued by the prosecutor office, investigation that led to the capture of those responsible for the criminal act that ended the life of one of the exponent artists of our native Creole language.
And in order to promote employability and qualification of labor profiles of workers residing in the archipelago, SENA, through the National System of Training for Work, created this certification drive that seeks to certify the work experience of the islanders.
The San Andres Regional Center has 850 spaces available to certify labor competencies in tourism, sports, electricity, construction, and food processing. This activity is aimed at people who have been developing some of these trades or jobs, who do not have formal certification and wish to validate their knowledge, which will serve to add to their professional resumes.
This certification drive is aimed at people who have the skills and abilities and have not had the opportunity to be formally trained. They simply have to come to SENA, register, and start the process with our evaluators. They will do a series of performance tests and will be certified in the different labor competency standards. The minimum requirements to participate in this process are to have 6 months of experience in the work or trade to be certified, and of course to have the will.
The certification drive will be completely free of charge, and the people interested in applying can be linked to an organization or independent.
And today we pay tribute to Odette Forbes, a great woman recognized on the island for her love and commitment to teaching.
So passionate, dedicated, and sure of her profession will always be remembered Odette Forbes, who for years and years dedicated herself, body and soul to what she loved the most, teaching. Her family, friends, and acquaintances highlight her joy, enthusiasm, vocation, and love for teaching. Martella Bowden-Bent, friend and co-worker, highlight how helpful this great woman was.
She's a woman that used to come here at the Castle of Culture, and she used to bring food from her home for many of the children them to eat, because they come from school here, and she bring the food them here for they eat. But one day she don't to bear one of them round the back and said, "No, Papito, you have to bear because you couldn't stay." So, and she was a woman that every time she ready, she never said no. Every time she was ready to help her community, to help in the institute that she worked here, help outside in the community, whatsoever time and whatsoever moment you called on it, she was right here ready to do everything. I remember like one day she said to me, "I gotta get some food from our hotel if you give away and I carry it to her family." Me say, "You left you live in Ghana, we don't gonna carry the family." That it was a night. And said, when you love children and appreciate people, you do anything for them. And that is a great woman, a loving woman with a big heart.
A leader, a strong and dedicated woman who fought every day to enhance the racial culture and to teach children and young people to improve in the academic field, and always eager to help.
We worked for many years together, form a wonderful teamwork with other professionals. And she always, that was her personality, hard-built, to be a very straight person, responsible, professional, integral in every aspect, a very, very good friend.
Teleislas sympathized with family, friends, and relatives of the deceased. Rest in peace, Professor Odette Farbs.
Yes, may her soul rest in peace. And now let's get to know other facts that today are news in our brief news section.
The sectional of the Departmental League Against Cancer, in articulation with the Office of Women's and Gender Affairs, the Departmental Social State Enterprise, and the Secretariat of Health, completed the vaccination campaign against human papilloma virus, an activity that took place this weekend as part of the commemoration of Cervical Cancer Day. The vaccination point was at the Barracuda Park, where they immunized 100 girls and adolescents between the ages of 9 and 17 years. The authorities emphasized that those who did not get vaccinated against HPV or other diseases can go to the departmental hospital every day, where vaccination is performed continuously and free of charge. The Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago Coralina, with the support of guards of the Mas Bosque Project, conducted this weekend a cleaning campaign in the Old Point Regional Park. This activity seeks to maintain the protected areas of the species that inhabit the place. The Child Protection Group of the National Police conducted at the Bolivariano School activities focused on the prevention of school violence with the support of the ICBF officials, promoting good socio-educational practices for the prevention of any situation and avoiding the violation of the rights of children and adolescents.